And my frame rate is, or sorry, my bitrate is still cooked. That's dope. This is so annoying. Yeah, still the exact same frame loss as before. 6 to 6%. See if this takes a long time to load or not. But I don't think it matters really. I think I just need to actually restart some things because I was able to play yesterday, but sometimes the routing to the server was different, so I would get like 160 ms one match, and then on the other one I would get 230 ms on the same server, which makes no sense. So I wonder if that's what's causing me issues. Like somehow my routing to the streaming service or streaming servers is bugged for some reason. Really hope I can solve this decently fast, because I don't want to have to keep opening many streams and then closing them. Just spam people with notifications, you know? It's really annoying.
Fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit around here for a bit, but I doubt that this will fix. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna have to actually do some more rigorous testing. Also, what the hell is up with my FPS? Hello? Hey, latency is normal. I'm on Europe now, so it should be 190. But yeah, the stream should be fairly unwatchable considering I'm losing 66% of frames, right? Like 2/3 of the frames are being lost. You're watching like a PowerPoint presentation. And it's so weird because the games yesterday, outside of those like weird moments, right, weird matches with different latency than it should have been, the latency itself, like it didn't have any fluctuations. There weren't really any packet loss signs. Here on this game mode you can't quite see because of the overlay on the top left, but they're just right on top of like the crits of crit accuracy, right? You'll sometimes see like a yellow and orange symbol flashing. That's like the packet loss, and I barely see it happening right now. It just happened now. So it's just like it's not happening to the point where like, for example, one thing that I will try is to like restart my internet, see if that does anything. But the thing I would really like to know is like, what does restarting the internet actually do? How does it change your routing, if it does at all, right? Or is there, for example, like a weird cache thing with internet provider, right? Where if you I don't know, something wrong happens and now your internet provider is not like actually loading things or connecting properly, or for whatever reason it's malfunctioning, right? And then restarting it just like clears that and then it's working. Like, I don't know. I would like to know those things. But there are so many kinds of like variables in the whole internet that makes it a lot of this hard. Especially because you have to test like each different step, right? Like there is the step between you and the thing that you put at your house, right? To have the internet, and then there's the in this case, I guess I was thinking about Wi-Fi. No, I'm using internet. Although it does go through the little Wi-Fi device, right? So there are the cables from the street to your house, right? There are the cables from the street to like your internet provider, and then there are all of the connections between where you're playing and where the game is being played, right? So in this case, connections all the way to Europe, right? Routes that could be like, I remember there was an issue not too long ago of like Overwatch CS matches where a big underwater cable that connected continents and was used for a bunch of stuff stopped working, and so one of the players had like really bad time actually connecting to the match, and like all of like the internet stuff that needed to go through that cable needed to route different places, so it was all a mess. So it's just like there are so many points of failure, and while you do control some of them to an extent, like you can run tests locally, there's still some stuff that is just like outside of your control that makes me wonder. But yeah, you know what's funny? I decided to stay up with the stream because I had no idea if maybe just waiting would fix the issue. I doubted it because each time that I started the stream, right, which was 3 times between yesterday and today, it started with bad frame loss, and it stayed that way for as long as I wanted to stream. But now that I've been talking for almost 10 minutes, it has stopped. It has normalized, which is weird. Habit of jumping while shooting? I just have a double jumping habit. You know what's funny? When I was playing Mei a bit, I don't remember why, but when I was playing Mei with like the new perk so that you can double jump essentially on a cooldown, I noticed that I was always, whenever I'm running out back from spawn, or even just like in the middle of fights, I would randomly use it without thinking. Why? Because I'm just used to this. I'm just so used to this. Yeah. I have not really stopped to study this, but I would assume that I have a really bad jumping habit or double jumping habit. Like, I don't actually pay all too much attention to the duels that I'm taking very often. I think that's one of the parts of my gameplay that I focus on the least. Because I'm always just like thinking. Even though like I should be paying attention to the strafing and my own dodging and whatnot, right? But yeah, Overwatch is an overwhelming game, right? Like, it's always a trade-off. What do I focus on? Okay, I can focus on my shots, or I can focus on my engagement timing, right, and positioning, or I can focus on ability tracking or whatnot. Ideally, you just divide your attention, right, and then you just do many things, and then based on the activity, like, okay, I engage this BAP, I stop thinking, right, or I stop thinking about like tracking ultimates and whatnot, right? Like, this is not a moment to track ults, this is a moment to just focus on killing the BAP and playing the duel, right, deflecting at the right time, etc. Yeah, let me read the chat.
Dusting off. Scaling up.
How to deal with it? You back around. I mean, it's easier said than done, right?
Taking flight.
But really, like, the core idea of it is simple. You avoid the poke, and then you engage up close, or you poke from angles where they're not looking. That being one of the main things, right? Managing attention is one of the most important things for you to do in game. You don't really want to engage against people that are looking at you like this. In this game mode, I'm not gonna get to sneak on anybody because everyone is always looking at me. But you want to engage, whether it be from poking a tank on the side or poking like this Life Weaver or whatever, right? You want to be engaging when they aren't looking. And if they are looking, you probably don't want to engage anymore, right? Or you want to have an appropriate response, rather. So either deflect or dash or just go behind cover or fight because you have an advantage. I don't know. But it's very common to just like get stuck on this situation where you're just standing main, poking the enemy team, and then as you close the gap and then you get into their effective range, right? Because usually the hit scans have like this weird situation where if you're shooting them from very far away, they're not actually going to be dealing much damage to you because of their fall off. So you actually feel decently effective during your poke. So what ends up happening, right, is that as you close the gap and then you, let's say that you just end up going main, now you're going to be taking big damage. But now you're kind of getting baited into trying to engage. And this type of engagement is just too easy for them to see coming and then counter, right? Whereas engagement from the side, right, you get more free shots, their reaction is harder, they have to turn, they have to realize what's happening, right? So it's just like much stronger, but yeah.
What's up?
Tension, very important concept to focus on.
Taking flight.
But yeah, so far no more frame losses, which is unexpected.
Be wary. Ahoga. 次は誰が相手だ。風のごとく。
Something I need to really get back into doing is like easier videos where it's just like a bunch of clips of cool stuff. That doesn't really belong on a full video, but I want to do something with it anyways. And I just compiled those into an actual video. So it's just like the little moment that I did with the tracking on the Sojourn. Like, it reminds me of a clip where I did this, right? I was in a situation where either I land the triple primary fire crit or I'm pretty much dead. I couldn't really close the gap, I would die really quickly. So I just focused on her strafe, and the moment that... So it was just like, okay, right... she's walking towards me, which is making this awkward rather than just doing left and right. But it was kind of like, okay, she's strafing left, the moment that she strafes right, I'm gonna just do this, right? So I'm just gonna wait. Kind of like that, except hitting all shots and then boom, she's bursted down without even realizing that she's in danger, like thinking that I'm on the back foot. And I was. I just focused on my outs and just executed it on it and then just like absolutely turned the duel around. And got a kill where realistically I shouldn't have. Like that kind of stuff where I can just like talk about it for like 30 seconds and then just move on to another cool thing. you know? Like that kind of stuff. None of them work those.
I'm on fire.
When I was on ball, let's watch it. That sounds fun. What was it? It was Sura, yes. 24 and 10, so obviously you suck, you're terrible, below 3 KD. Please quit the game, never try it again. I'm just joking.
Ready for battle.
Do not start the mission yet. The mammal has something in his teeth.
There's one thing that I found. This is the moment that I knew the match was over, by the way. This is the moment that I knew the match was over. I have a setup to hit choke, right? Okay. Where's the team? Part of the team is still walking, sure, whatever. We got enough people here that we can make their walk up harder, we can control good space, right? So I slam Lucio, boom, insta kill, right? Now guess what, the enemy team will turn at me. I am a tank so I can survive some stuff, but still, I was staged here for a while, there was the Lucio, we were here, right? So I'm saying we're gonna fight here, and then I make the move saying we're gonna fight here, right? And then watch this. I get every single cooldown out from the enemy team, right? So the Doom turns at me, punches me, the Cassidy hinders me, everyone dumps all of their damage into me. What is my Kiriko doing? She's standing back, no care in the world. What are cooldowns? If only there was something that this Kiriko could have done to just completely flip this around and save me after I set us up for a kill, right? Like, bro. And okay, let's assume that this Kiriko just turned off her brain during this moment and forgot she could just save me here, right? Sure, the enemy team is now all clumped up, everyone is distracted looking at me, everyone has spent cooldowns, right, and ammunition to kill me. Surely we will do something. Oh wait, we won't. Because my supports are here. They're not like taking an angle, they're not getting active or anything. Or I mean, I guess they're controlling somewhat of like relevant space, but at the same time it's just like, come on, the enemy team cannot be allowed to just 5-man me here. When I have
Calculating trajectory.
the shield perk, I have perfect staging. Oh, and by the way, it's also like the enemy team tried harder to do something about this than my own team, despite my own team being at a much better position here. They knew what was coming because it was on their screen for a while, right? They probably didn't even need to use movement cooldowns and anything to follow up. Meanwhile, the enemy team just instantly just does everything. So it's not just like about the fact that I'm dying with 1200 HP because of the shield, right? So they insta-pop the shield
Flashpoint unlocks in
literally every cooldown. Literally every cooldown on the enemy team. Kiriko no, but Genji also spends dash. I guess he gets a reset here. Yeah. This is when I knew it was over. It was like, nah. If I can make an engagement where we just get a kill early, we knew where to fight beforehand, and still somehow the enemy team is more ready for this, despite the Lucio and Doom being alone here and the rest of the team still being rotating, right? Like the fact that these players here are more ready for the fight than the players here that had like 10 seconds to react, I knew it was over. And I think that the Kiriko played the way that she did because they're an Ana player. They were playing Ana before. That's my suspicion. But please is it still agonizes me to watch this. It still gives me so much pain to know that I can load into the same lobby as this player, because we're currently close enough in ranking that we can play together and have this difference of a game understanding, you know? That's what pains me. It's not about like whether or not the player belongs in the rank. They got to the rank,
Ready for
probably
battle.
didn't get boosted there, right? They probably just got there through their own skill, like the game is doing the job correctly of just like moving people up and down based on their performance, right? And their win rates, or sorry, not performance, based on their win rate, right? So the players that win more, they climb and whatnot. But it's just so funny to me how you can have such a massive difference in skill, still be ranked the same, and that's an important distinction to make, right? I see a lot of Genji players getting mad of like, oh, I have to play like I'm so much better than these players and whatnot. And to a certain extent, yes, you're a lot better than players that pick easier characters and rank up. Like right now, if you pick Vendetta, you're infinitely more likely to win than if you pick Genji, right? So you might rank higher, but that doesn't mean that you have higher skill, right? So what matters to you? The shiny rank on that shows up on your profile, right? Or your own satisfaction from playing the game, enjoying it, right? Knowing your own worth. What do you value? External validation or internal validation, you know?
Hi.
5, 4,
So for example,
1.
I unfortunately have not yet reached the Amp and Tank. I was not disciplined enough to get it last season. If I was, I could have done it already. This season I'm gonna try to amend that and get champ overalls. I want to actually commit to this project, not just like put in half effort and just expect to get the hardest rank on all roles while I haven't played the other 2 roles for like a year, you know, and have been expecting to get them in like 10 hours. Like that's a lot of expectations that I'm putting to do something incredibly hard, all putting in not even like 50% effort, you know? So I want to actually take it seriously. But regardless, even though I didn't hit it yet, I do know that, one, I have what it takes, otherwise I wouldn't be confident in and I wouldn't be attempting to do it, right? But 2, I know that from my gameplay with Ball, which is the tank that I like playing, and from just having played the game a bunch at a higher rank and seeing a bunch of different tank players, that I'm better than basically all top players in the ladder, right? I don't know where I could exactly rank, like if it's like top 100 or top 10 or whatever, and I don't care. I don't really care. What I'm trying to say here is that I know my self-worth here on tank, even if the rank currently does not show it, right? The rank will potentially show it eventually if I put in enough disciplined work, right? Enough purposeful time into the climb. But I know that just because right now I didn't have the best placement and I'm master 1 after the reset, right? Even though I could have, if I tried a little bit harder, maybe counter swapped a bit or whatever, I could have just easily placed GM3 plus on tank. I know that this doesn't make me a fraud at Ball, right, or anything like that. But yeah, long tangent to talk about something that I find very important, right, which is just like knowing your self-worth and not letting these external values, especially like these external sources of quote-unquote validation that you don't really care about dictate your own worth, right? Like who cares what random Torb player 69 is trying to tell you about your skill level? You don't know the player, you don't know the person, you don't care about the random. All you should care about is what you think about your own gameplay and if you are satisfied with that or not, and if playing the game makes you happy and stuff, you know?
Market.
覚悟
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
I need to see this. How?
I'm near. Keep fighting.
Unlocks in 10 seconds.
The Rhino is actually very fast here. Fairly fast. Oh, this is why.
They're attacking me.
This is why there were no footsteps. That's great. And nobody is scouting on this side. Yeah. Because everyone went over here. Which I guess makes sense. You could argue maybe Genji should be going here if the team is already going this way. I do like controlling this area. I do think that it is a valuable Genji position. Or just valuable dive character position in general, right? This is where I was set up in ball. So yeah, what happens here is more so like the enemy team making a good play and being fortunate that we didn't scout it out. Yeah.
Not so fast.
But yeah, there isn't much fight to be had afterwards. Okay, let me actually slow down and actually analyze this. Them cat? Yeah, just ignore him. And hope that he doesn't just murder you with like a silent assassination technique using the perk, which is really broken. Right? You get it like 1 minute, 2 minutes into the game, and now you suddenly have a superpower melee every time that you want to engage people, and you can do so from any angle with basically no sounds. And then you also have self-healing and like pulsing boops, right? I'm pretty sure the boop is not just on the first pulse, right? It's like on every single one of them. I could be wrong here. But the cat is just... the cat needs to be louder. And it's not just an issue with cats. I was thinking about this one of these days, about Echo. What makes Echo frustrating? And for the most part, it's the lack of footsteps. It's the lack of counterplay in a way, right? It doesn't feel like you had a chance when Echo blows you up. Because it's just like, oh, I guess I'm full sticky. What's the counterplay? But the counterplay would have been there if you could react to it and maybe dodge, right? See it coming. But because Echo makes no noise and can come from the skybox and is so good at just like, on the maps that Echo is playable, just like hide her presence completely so that she can land those assassinations, it feels awful to play against and get assassinated. Like, there is skill involved. I'm not saying that Echo isn't skillful, but it does feel cheap, which is weird because it shouldn't feel cheap, right? If it's skillful, it shouldn't feel cheap. But those are two different things, right? How hard it is to pull off and what the design makes you feel about the skill that was put in, right?
I'm under attack.
Yeah. I would argue here, this is what I was kind of back to the review. This is what actually is going wrong. Like in theory, you're doing things correctly, but your team is not here, so you're overextending a bit. If your Zen was actually pushing up, you can take this because then it's a 2v2, right? But right now, this is a 1v2. And so, contesting these players, distracting these players, sure, is great and all if you do it on the right time, but once again, we're in theory not fighting. Like, let's ignore the fact that this Reinhardt just once again managed to get a charge on us, right? Like, in theory, there shouldn't be a fight happening yet, right? In theory, there should be a fight happening here, right? But it is still like before where fights typically happen. So before we are all ready to fight, right? And by the way, the Rein getting a kill on us doesn't make us suddenly ready to fight, right? And if anything, the Rein is getting a kill because we weren't ready to fight, right? So there's a stark contrast between what you were doing and the team, right? And this is why you get chunked, this is why you lose your deflect, right? Like if this Genji pushes you here, he shouldn't be getting an advantageous duel against you. You should be the one that just like baits him in, and now you have the cooldowns to chase and he has nothing to run away, right? So basically he shouldn't be able to push and you should have cooldowns. You wouldn't really be able to do much about it, but like you're taking a bad trade here. Unless the enemy Genji plays poorly, which he did. Letting you get the knee and all. But like, yeah, just needed to, the important part there is that you just needed to check where the team was before actually putting yourself in a position to fight. Like same thing here. Three players that are about to look at you. This doesn't feel good. Where is your team? Not here yet, right? Maybe the distraction could be worth it, right? Let's not get into the actual engagement itself here. Team is not ready. I don't remember if I could get touch here or not. Yeah, I could. Yeah. Maybe you went for touch. If that's what you did, then it makes sense, I guess. Because if it's not for touch, then I don't see a purpose to doing this, right? You should still have your deflect, you should be able to just engage and follow up on any opportunity, right? Or just participate in the fight better because you just have resources, you are available to go anywhere still. You have not committed to a play this early. Like now your plays are very limited, for example. Because you're down deflect and the fight has just begun. But this is nice. And this is the kind of availability that I was talking about, right? Fortunately, we're able to do something without deflect, but being without deflect cuts down on the kind of opportunities like these that you're gonna be able to follow up on. But yeah, this is just a waste of time. Also, you can shoot your gun while he's pulling you. Just shoot the cat. Like, the cat was flying in a straight line. Just shoot him. He's gonna die. Yeah. But at the same time, also, just don't waste your time with the cat. It's not worth it. Like, you know that this isn't your job. I know that this is the only thing on your screen right now, but this is a duel that, frankly speaking, you're not supposed to win. Even if it feels like, okay, I landed some poke already on the cat, I can dash for some more damage. Realistically, the cat here should have heal. Should be able to escape even if you get good damage. It just... But yeah, by this point the team is struggling. Everyone is negative, basically. And the funny part is that despite the team being kind of negative, we still win this point. And by the way, no more frame losses, right? I haven't seen any on my end. I haven't been paying too much attention. Sure, this is good. Save the dash. Yeah, the rush there is bad. You should have been able to get the Genji. Let me drink some water. But yeah, I'm gonna go back because this situation is awkward and I want to talk about it. Like, I understand you wanting to poke and be around this position and everything, but there are two main things here. One, your good positioning depends on what the enemy team is trying to do. If the entire enemy team rotated this way, suddenly you wouldn't be in such a good position anymore, right? Suddenly you would want to maybe be here, right? So first you need information to know where you want to position. So maybe go here, scout to see if the enemy team is actually going this way. Maybe, I don't know, position yourself here early on to see if they're actually coming this way or if they're going top, and then rotate accordingly, right? I don't think that this is actually such a good idea, but the whole point is just like gathering some information ahead of time, and ahead of time enough that you're gonna have time to reposition to where you want to be based on the information that you see, so that you are ready for the fight, right? So that's important. And then second, this is not a trade that you want to take. The important part here is that the Cassidy, he is annoying for sure, but he's only annoying if you peek. What happens if you don't peek this Cassidy? What can he do to this team? I want all of chat to answer this, by the way. What can this Cassidy do if you here stop peeking, right? And I'm just trying to play in a way that the Cassidy can shoot me here by staying further away. If this Cassidy could shoot me, I would just drop and maybe hold grapple here, and I would just be at this height and then have the Cassidy not be able to shoot me. So yeah, basically just imagine that right now neither Genji nor Ball can be shot by the Cassidy, right? They're just waiting. Nothing? He can't walk? Why? Has to look somewhere else to shoot. Dive a little deeper. Why wouldn't he be able to do anything? If he does, he will get closer to the best range? Yes. This Cassidy cannot walk. This Cassidy only gets value here if we give him value. If we don't pick this Cassidy, he can never walk. If he does walk, he just gets slammed and dies, because the team is not here to follow up on him. Even if the team was here, this is still very awkward. The enemy team walks too far in, naded, Ball slammed, Genji follow up, Sojourn takes the angle and just spams and kills someone, right? So this rotation like close to us is awkward. This is not a really good sideline in general. It's low ground versus high grounds with like all the threats on our side already set up. This team probably wants to rotate here to avoid our setup, right? Alternatively, they can maybe try to rotate this way, but again, same kind of threat where they walk in, we slam, we have our threat set up, like the Annons and spam and cooldowns and whatnot. The Soldier maybe takes an angle and kites back. Awkward for the enemy team, right? So that's the thing. Very important to note. We might think it's our job to fight Cassidy, dive the Cassidy, right? Deal with him. But our job isn't so much fight the Cassidy, contest the Cassidy, as it is deny the Cassidy sightlines, deny the Cassidy kills or kill opportunities, right? If us positioning here means that the Cassidy cannot walk here, just pop, headshot, hinder, shoot, whatever, right? Just assassinate a support, because there is nobody here trending to beat him in close range, right? And so he just closes the gap on these long range characters and beats them, right? Then there's a problem. But we have already done our job of like denying the Cassidy everything that he wants by existing here. So by this point, all we need to do is not get poked out by him, be readily available to do anything else that might be needed, such as contesting and poking, whatever, anyone that rotates this way. And if the Cassidy actually pushes up, slapping him in the face for being stupid and ignoring our threats. Look at what I do here. I avoid the Cassidy poke, but more importantly, because I know that this Cassidy is dumb, right? And I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, I'm saying this because it's just a tendency, right? This Cassidy is expecting, oh, I'm playing Cassidy. Ball cannot engage on me here, right? I'm just safe. I can just take this angle. They're not gonna push me. I'm gonna beat them here if they do, right? But I'm just like, nope. You're alone. Because I knew that the enemy team was rotating the other way. And then I just slapped him in the face, right? Because he was solo pushing here. If the enemy team was here somewhere to follow up, I would not do this. I would just wait for them to come into our area of, or rather, walk into our setup, right? A lot of coaches would like to use the term kill box, right? But in this case, because the caster was isolated and he was thinking that we couldn't really do anything because he's so trending, he ended up overstaying who was welcome alone, and so I could just push him. And especially because he didn't get poked out. But yeah. You could do this on Genji. I think it's less viable in this situation because of the range. So I would say that this is like more so a tank thing for you to push. But if you see this rotation, if you see this cast isolated, you can maybe think about closing the gap here. And at this point, you can just dash this guy, right? If you're at this range, you can just dash this guy, just take the 1v1 if you want. But yeah, main thing is just chill, right? Don't take the poke damage. Scout the enemy rotate. And while you're not getting value yet, it's the same thing. Cat is flying away from you because it doesn't want to get chunked. Backline is afraid to walk in because you're ready to dive, right? So you're not getting stimulation, right? You're not getting dopamine from actually engaging in combat, but you're still getting value. Because they're respecting your threat here, right? They're eventually gonna have to go in or something. So by that point you could look to engage. But right now you don't really have to do anything. You just have to not take damage if anything. And just shoot whatever is convenient. And I'm stressing this because a lot of Genji players feel the need to do something. Not just Genji players, players in general just feel the need to do something. Oh, I need to poke out the enemy team as they walk up. Oh, I cannot just let the enemy backline just sit here for free. Well, yes you can. What are they doing? What are they doing here? They're not doing anything. I only pushed this Cassidy because he ended up isolated. If the Cassidy wasn't isolated, I wouldn't do anything because the Cassidy can't do anything, right?
Flashpoint.
Show me what you're made of.
No point. You need a deflect to hold the space if you want, right? What do you achieve from this? Nothing. Decent. Get some good poke on her, go for a combo. Almost die because you didn't have your deflect from that waste. Oh, that's rough. You needed to play that more aggressively.
Hello.
And then I just soloed the enemy team.
Capturing the point.
This was really sad.
Breaking them down.
Now I'm dead. You hold the angle. Please hold the angle. Considering how low Ryan was and how far back the enemy backline is, I respect it. I think that this, if the Reinhardt actually dies, maybe one of your teammates doesn't get shattered, you might actually be able to save them because the enemy team is so far back. But once again, note that the backline is this far back because they are scared of you. Look at where the Cassidy is looking the moment that he comes out of here. He's not looking to follow up on the shatter. He knows that if he ignores you, you kill him, right? So that's very important. Just you being here already delayed this backline follow-up on this shatter, right? It shows the value of the position.
It's go time.
Stupid cat. Enemy team just ends for no reason. I like, part of me just wants me not to talk about this, but I think it's important. This skill is just not realistic. I understand what you're going for, understand why you're doing it, right? Like, you're dashing to the side, the Kiriko is strafing like this, so basically she's not moving on your screen, so you can more easily land the triple headshot melee, right? Like, if you're gonna go for a kill here, this is the best way to do it, right? You just messed up mechanically. I also got a little bit unlucky because the Kiriko just ended up walking back, and then the Genji walked forward, and now you cannot land the one shot anymore. But realistically, this is never landing a kill, and now you're down your cooldowns, and the fight has not started, right? So if not for this nano, if not for me just pushing up here now, and just basically saying, no, you guys don't get to walk here. And by the way, it's also just like bad on the enemy team. Why are they stacked? They should just walk somewhere else, and now you can contest because you have no cooldowns, right? You can hold this position, you cannot hit anyone main. So if not for the series of events, essentially, you would have just given up basically 2 lanes, or at least your presence on these 2 lanes, for nothing. For nothing. Not a very realistic kill, and if you really want to go for that kill, you were already here to begin with. You just hold the choke, if someone walks through, you try to triple headshot melee, and then from there you can maybe think about dash follow-up, right? Or maybe you don't even add the melee, you just shoot, and then if you react fast enough to the damage, you can just dash melee and finish someone, right? But realistically, a kill is not happening here, so burning your cooldowns just, again, it's the same thing. It's like killing your opportunity later, right? It's the opportunity cost. By you going in now, you cannot realistically go in for the next 8-10 seconds. And it's a problem because right now there isn't really a fight happening, but a fight's gonna happen relatively soon, or at least posturing for the fight, right? People trying to take space, and you being able to hold down this side on your own is very important here. Because you're one of the 2 characters in our comp that can hold these close range positions. The rest of our comp, right, the Sojourn, the Ana, the Zen, they want to be further away. They cannot really contest that area. They cannot really contest this very well. So you need to be here holding this area. So if you burn your cooldown like this, suddenly the Kiriko can now peek this and free shoot. The Cassidy can come here and challenge your players in a good angle, right? Whatever, right? This specific example is not very problematic, but it's the principle that matters, right? The fundamentals.
Not so fast.
I like the blade. It's a shame that you don't have the ability to chase anymore afterwards. Because the Kiriko is so far away. Forcing the Suzu is fine. I think that the enemy team just deathmatches this better than we do. But yeah, this you cannot do. Like, we're still in a fine position. It's a shame that we lost our Ana and now our Zen. Sure. But one thing that's very important here is that the enemy team is still at a disadvantage despite them having supports and us not having them. Because look at the positioning around points. Our Sojourn is in an incredibly powerful position. I'm basically full resource and able to go on anyone, right? I can zone backline, I can shoot Doom. And you, in theory, should just be able to chill too, right? Like, you just assassinated Cassidy from here. You can just sit here. The Doomfist can't really do anything. He is forced to keep touching. So you can either free shoot him from the side, or you can walk in and outplay the potential punch by double jumping and dashing and wall climbing and whatever, right? But most importantly, it's the same thing as before. Can this Kiriko do anything from this position? Can this Lucio do anything from this position? Or more importantly, how much can they do from these positions? Yes, sure, the Kiriko can heal. But is healing the Doomfist in this situation, with our angles, with our point control, gonna do anything? Hello? Am I live? Is chat dead? Let me actually check if chat is dead. Sometimes that happens. No, chat is not dead. Okay. This. But yeah. If you just shoot Doom, we probably win this fight. I know it's a shame that we can't go for these players. You would rather go for these players than the Doom. But you cannot. If you had resources, maybe. Or, heck, if you really want to go for them, go here. Take the mini, full heal. Wait for them to not be paying attention. Wait for your CDs. Then engage. This is how you engage them. Not by going here and dashing in, right? Like, if you really want to engage in them, do it properly. Or you just shoot Doom until the backline walks. Once the backline walks, you shoot them, right? And the worst part is that I was just about to help you and you just got destroyed. And now we cannot touch and we lose a point at 0-1, unfortunately. We're just stacked against the Doomfist, so we just lose. But yeah, moral of the story, you're trying too hard. Very common Genji mistake. I have a video coming that is titled this. I just need a good footage for the video. I've yet to select footage for the video. Maybe I could go through one of my replays after to just quickly search. I don't think there's much to talk about here.
Thank you.
This Cassidy's having a bad time. I really wanted to win this game. I was trying so hard. I'm not saying this to make you feel bad or anything like that. It's not your fault or anyone's fault, really. I mean, some people obviously could have played better to win the game, but that's not what matters, right? I'm just proud of my own performance this game. I feel like I was playing so smart. Like, I backcapped the enemy comp when they're beat pushing us, and then here I noticed that rather than trying to hold point and catch with mines whoever goes in, or then trying to push from behind here and then minefield or whatever, try to catch their push, maybe have us survive, I was just like, you know what? I can spawn camp the Kaz. to just get the free kill. So now we should be able to recontest easier because it's a 5v4. Teacher in my server. If you mean like a role or something, that's something that I need to think about more. So that's something that I've been wanting to do for a bit, just like having a role for like people that are trusted for VOD review. So like if they choose to VOD review one of the VOD that people send in the forums, right? You know that it's just like, okay, what they're gonna say is much more likely to be correct than the stuff that your average non-verified user, right, is gonna be saying, right? It's a shame. Probably not worth playing still because lost fight. The stagger would have been nice for the recontest, so I'm not too mad about the play there. A roll. Just like I have like what is it? I don't remember what my own role is. There's like sensei or something. There are a bunch of roles like VIP and student and whatever. Right. Yeah. Trying to touch this was just silly. We were down everyone. And yeah. Here's the other thing that has really stood out to me about your gameplay. You need to look around yourself more.
Overtime.
I have touch. Not just like a comp thing. Oh, you have ball on your team. Ball is likely to be getting touches on the objective, right? At least to trigger overtime and stall overtime and whatever. But you should confirm if your ball has the resources, right? Has the HP, has the position to touch point. You should confirm whether your backline is in position to take a fight yet or not, right? To know if you're gonna get healing or if they're just fighting a side battle. So you should engage now or wait or whatever, right? You should gather this type of information. It's free. You can look at it through walls, right? You have friendly wall hacks. Everyone has. So there's no excuse here before the fight starts for you to just be like, oh, my backline is getting punched. Okay, so I'm not really gonna get much help here. So like you just burn all of your cooldowns while I'm just like rotating touches, you know. Like either you could be helping the backline to Doom there because the enemy backline was so hard to reach, especially considering if you fight the enemy backline, they are in positions where it's hard for you to do anything about them. They still have resources. It's not an advantageous fight. Like it was just you and me there versus like 3, like their Genji and like Kier Lucio. So you either had to like AFK or take a fight that doesn't really lose your resources for the moment that the resources could actually be put to good use. So like, I get touch. Like here, if you are available here with resources, this Lucio is dead. This Lucio is just plain dead. If you have resources here, maybe you can take this angle and try to go for the Cassidy while he is not aware of your existence here, so you just one-shot him, right? Or maybe just chill and then once I need to get out of point because I'm too low, you can touch for a bit, allow me to get some healing and then you get off point and then I get on or whatever. But during this whole time, it was not likely that any kills would be generated. Very, very important. On the walk-up, half of our team is not in position. Right? Heck, 80% of our team is not in position right now. I am distracting people. I am setting up for touch. I get touch. But still, they're chilling, right? Bing chilling. Cassidy's coming back, I believe from my spawn camp. Genji's chilling. I'm trying to force some resources, draw attention, make sure that the Doom is 1v4, right? So I need to try and survive and wait for our opportunity to actually do something. Because it's not now. These players will just chill. Because there's not like a Zen and an Ana and a Venture and a Genji all like from 4 different angles ready to just like pounce on these players, right? Just chill. And dice, sure, whatever. Now is our chance. Because now I have given our team enough time that, okay, Venture is walking up. Zen is still here apparently because the Genji's got on him. So unfortunately, our backline is never going to get to join the fight. But at least now I created some space, right? I was able to reach backline. You are in decent range to reach backline, and so is Venture. So now is the one moment that we could theoretically do something. Venture has resources and could maybe follow up on me. But you don't. So I miss on the Lucio kill and probably lose because of this. Not saying that this was a likely fight for us to win anyway. Like, we'd probably just lose this. It's once again that awareness thing and that trying too hard thing, right? Like, you just feel like you have to do something, and because you feel like you have to do something, you do so ahead of time, right? Before it's your turn to go. So when it is, in fact, your turn to go, you're not ready to go. So you end up trading 100 damage and the high risk of death for 500 damage later on, probably a kill or two, and a lower risk for a higher reward, right? And all for more effort, by the way. You're putting in more effort to try and one-shot the Kiriko than you would have to just like follow up on the slammed Lucio that is just falling straight down. Right? So like here, in theory, what you're doing is mostly correct. You're waiting for the moment that you can actually go in. You're preserving your resources. So the moment of the slam, you can go in. Now in this case, you were just AFK behind the wall while I was engaging, right? It was, I think, Kiriko or Zen follow-up that finished off the Lucio. I didn't fully kill him myself. But the idea is there. Similarly, if you are up here and you don't get poked out, now that everyone is turning on me and I have engaged, now you have an opportunity to do something and you would go hard, right? Like fairly easy shots because they're walking a straight line, they're unaware of your position, right? They're distracted, etc. So you could do a lot of things rather than just having to one-shot someone or die. And look at how effortless this was. Even with your fumbles, right? Even with your fumbles, it was such a strong timing and such a strong position that despite missing half your shots, you still got a kill. On a different person, sure, but you still got a kill. You had no cooldowns either. Right? Initially you had no dash, I believe. Could be wrong here. No, sorry, you always had that. But you didn't have deflect for this entire duration and didn't even use the dash. And I don't think that there is really anything to review fast here. And turning on Doom here is good. It was the only thing in your range. And the enemy team just is better. Let me actually quickly go through some of my games. See if I can find something interesting. I think I just played ball yesterday. Yeah. Also ball. From Gibraltar. That's Genji. Let's check this. Out of curiosity.
Ready for battle.
I don't know how good this VOD will be for the teams of what we're talking about. But let's check it. You can see the awareness there of like, is my team gonna go and do something? I wish my Winston jumped. He looked at my angle and he actually ignored this Winston. But I noticed that my Kiriko was here with me, so I was like, I can do this. And boom. Very nice. And we get tremendous value. And now here we're in an awkward situation. Because everyone is far away. You can see, I really want to go in, but I cannot find my way in. Because whenever I try to go through one of these paths, the enemy team is watching and is ready to shoot me, or is already poking me out, so they're preventing me from doing so. Realistically, what I should have done is go from this high ground, dash here, and then I can go on the DPS that were the ones that died and had to respawn. And because they are isolated from their supports, we can just easily either kill them or zone them completely off the point, and then we can probably just like win the point fight, or just win this fight or whatever. That's probably what I should have done. But I'm not forcing anything in their backline, I'm not forcing anything on the DPS. I just drop and shoot the tank, because that's the only thing that's realistically available for me. And then I just chill. I wanted to maybe go inside and follow up on my Winston. I thought that I would just get shot too hard by the Emery. Although, to be fair, just like walking here, I'm still in Emery's LOS, so maybe I should have just gone inside. But I'm just chilling, because the main important thing here isn't so much about, oh, my approach here is flawless. It isn't. There were ways that I could have improved my position, so that I could eventually do something. But because I'm not in a position to do something, and because I didn't see a way to improve my position, and because my opponents were not giving me an entry to do something, I did not force a play. I did not dash into this room and just die to the Winston and Brig. I did not just dash in and just get outdueled by the Emery, who has cooldowns and then I don't have cooldowns, right? I just chill. And then I look for the flank, and I look for some different approach. Emery is watching me, so I chill. And you're gonna see that now maybe I could have done something, because the enemy team gave it to me, right? Hanzo is close, Emery is close. I didn't quite go for it because my team wasn't here. I should have looked at where my team was to know if I actually could, and if it was smart for me to do this. But at the same time, I really didn't want to go here, because I don't want to turn my back and just get jumped on by Winston, because that's gonna chunk half my HP. I don't want to turn my back to a threat from the enemy team, so I take this slow. Now what do you expect? You have all of the information that you need. Is my team in or not? Am I in range to do something meaningful or not? What do you expect from this upcoming fight, or these upcoming seconds, based on everything that we have talked about so far? And this is for all of chat, right? Heck, I'm not even VOD reviewing someone anymore. Or I guess I am, I'm VOD reviewing myself, but I'm not waiting for the feedback of the student in this case, right? I'm using this as a example for us, or a thinking exercise for everyone in the chat here to get their ideas in, right? So what do you think? Gotta give everyone some time to think. If we want, we can also just break it down by steps, right? So you can just, rather than asking or rather than answering, oh, I think that this fight is gonna go great because X, Y, Z, right? You could just go, okay, team is in. Okay, Genji's close or Genji's far from targets, right? And from there we can start to piece the outcome or the expected outcome. But the important part is that first we process the information that's available to us in our screen to be able to place that against what our idea of what is good or bad for Genji is. Because without gathering that information, we cannot realistically know if it's good or bad, right? We need some information to be able to compare it with our ideal of good play to know and judge if it is good or bad, right? Judge the quality of play, essentially. Maybe help Winton with squishes. Yeah. But let's break this down. Let's make sure that we're following through this thought process and we're understanding the fundamentals, right? The principles here. Where is our team? Is our team here? Is our team ready to fight or fighting, right? Are they out of the fights? Are they getting contested, right? Where is the team? What is the team doing? Where the DPS or sub is? Yeah. You don't know where they are, unfortunately. Maybe that's something that I should have actually looked at. So I don't know if they're in the fight or not. So that is bad. I should assume based on this information that they're not in the fight. So that already makes me not feel as good about this play. But at the same time, we do see the Kiriko, we do see the Winston. They are engaging or close to engaging on targets, right? What about me? What do I know about my opponents, about my position? What I can maybe potentially do? Yeah. I do know that the DPS are there. I already knew that from the last few seconds. I do know that there are targets below me, right in front of me. I don't remember if I knew the Brig was there or not, but I know that there are some people right below me that could either be my targets or could make it hard for me to actually engage on the DPS, right? Like if I jump the DPS, the Brig could pack, the Winston could counter dive, bubble off, right? Protect, zap me. So there are a lot of pieces to this, right? Now, a lot of this is going to be processed subconsciously. You're going to know from like just seeing the numbers, seeing the quality of the Winston engagement, where your position is, how likely you are to deal good damage and get a kill, right? All of this is stuff that your brain is subconsciously trained by just practicing. Although it is better to just like practice this stuff consciously to develop good habits, guaranteed, rather than just playing, potentially developing bad habits and just having them, right? But the point is that as much information as we're gathering from a single moment, we have been paused here probably for over 5 minutes, right? Some of it has just been waiting around and thinking, sure, but we have been paused here for way longer than we would have been in the game. The game wouldn't pause, right? But it's still stuff that we can very much process in the moment. This stuff that our brain process, boom, like that, in the blink of an eye, right? Especially if we train ourselves to do so. Train yourselves to gather information, more information, and process it faster the more we do it, right? We get better at it this way, right? Nobody becomes a musician out of nowhere. People spend thousands and thousands of hours to just be able to play the hardest pieces of music and make it look effortless, right? Yeah, I would too. If I wasn't overthinking this, or if I was just using what I collectively gather, right? Essentially my experience to engage, I would just dash and follow up on this Winston. I don't need to verbalize why it's a good play. I just know that it's a good play. And that's an important thing. Your subconscious, your autopilot is not inherently bad. A lot of people like to reference, oh, okay, I fed here, I was on autopilot. Oh, here, I was just standing main because I was on autopilot. No. Autopilot is not the enemy. People use autopilot as a scapegoat, but they're forgetting all the good that the autopilot is doing for them. 99% of your gameplay is autopilot. And unless you have trained yourself purely on bad habits, right? Then your autopilot is going to be doing more good for you than bad, right? Think about it. When you live, right? When you wake up and you go to the bathroom, right? Are you thinking about walking, or are you just walking? Do you have to consciously tell your arm, okay, let me get my toothbrush out and let me do these motions, right? To brush my teeth. Or do you just do it? I would bet 99.9% of people, when they're brushing their teeth, are putting zero conscious effort into the brushing their teeth action, right? They're just thinking about, okay, what am I gonna do now? Like, do I want to play a game? Do I want to work? Or whatever the heck they want to think about, right? So the autopilot is not the enemy. And if anything, a lot of the subconscious thinking, right, is essentially just your brain working faster than normal. Or faster at least than your brain can rationalize the actions. You can make good actions before you can actually explain why they're good. Why? Because you already put in the work to know why going at the same time as your tank, right? Going from this angle, going from this range, whatever, is good because you practice it so much. It's second nature. So not being able to, and so here's the important thing. Not only is the autopilot not inherently bad, but not being able to verbalize, right? Not being able to explain why something is good or bad does not mean that you don't understand it. It only means that you cannot explain it. Being able to explain it might show a higher level of understanding of the topic, or I guess a more accurate way of describing it would be, it shows that you're good at explaining ideas, right? It's kind of like a teacher's mindset, right? It's also why like a lot of players are not good coaches and a lot of good coaches are not players, right? Those are different skill sets. Being a good player and a good coach requires you to learn both skill sets, right? So it's just like, you can make plays on autopilot, right? Not think, not be able to explain them, and still have them be really good. So yeah, it's funny. We talked all about that, and then how if I just dashed automatically to the high ground after that, it would have been just like normal. In this case, because by the moment my Winston was jumping, I was this far back, I didn't think so. Because I knew that my dash would get me here, that's not close enough. The enemy team is gonna have reacted by now, and then I'm not gonna do much. But the Winston jumps me really close, and I just burn this guy. The Winston just gets absolutely deleted. Yeah. And it's funny. Here, I guess, since I'm the one forcing point here, I can't really move much. If I wanted to go on this Emery, I would just dash here and then wait and then engage, right? But the important thing is, I really want to go on this Emery. this Emery is in a very vulnerable position. So if we do very little setup, right? Basically, we're almost at the point of this Emery dying, right? We push it over the edge, and then the Emery is dead. And in this case, pushing it over the edge just meant waiting for the payload to move a bit, so I'm closer, and Emery not trying to back up, possibly because he thought that he couldn't back up, and then he's just dead. I didn't really have to do much. And the important part is that I didn't try and rush this kill. I just waited for it to happen. But if I was gonna go for this, I would set it up properly, right? I would not have actually immediately dashed into him and given him a chance. I would dash here, and then drop on him, if either in point blank or wait for dash, just zone him off, whatever. Right? But very important. We have been talking about a lot of why the autopilot is not the enemy, and why you can trust if you have built up good habits, right? If you have built up your game understanding, you can trust your gut instincts to be right, to be making good decisions for you, right? So in a similar vein, whenever something feels good or feels bad, you shouldn't go for it. And that's something that I have found that on my own gameplay I neglect a lot and get hurt really, really hard by it. And that's something that I'm pretty sure a lot of other people go through. Because they have this notion, right? Someone told them that Genji should contest hitscan. Genji should contest backlane. It's Genji's job to go kill X player, right? So, you find yourself in a situation, let's say that you're here, and your brain is like, this feels bad. If I engage this Ana, I'm dead. If I engage this Brig, I'm dead, right? Nobody wants to engage this backline. From here, you have a terrible range, you have no surprise factor. Assuming this Ana does no nade, you should assume they have full cooldowns, right? This, by all means, every fiber of your being should say no. You do not have to rationally tell me why this is bad. You could just be in this position and know that you do not want to go near that. But I know that a lot of players would dash here, because they think that it's Genji's job to contest backline, or to kill Ana, or whatever. So despite what every fiber of their being is telling them, they would dash here. And guess what? They would die. Unless they somehow get a one shot, or this backline sucks, right? I see that happen very, very often against Cassidy, because Cassidy is a weird duel. Because up close, he really doesn't mind you being there. And roll is incredibly effective against Genji because it drastically lowers his damage. Genji's damage from this range to this range drops like by 50%. So despite roll being a minuscule movement ability, Cassidy is very well suited to deal with Genji. Hinder to slow him down and force deflect. Roll to gain distance after dash potentially. And just good general mid-range pressure, mid to close range pressure, right? Ease of aiming and whatnot, and bulk. To be able to kind of wait for Genji to dash. It's very rare that you get to engage a Cassidy in close range while still having your dash available, right? Probably Cassidy got mispositioned that way, or was just too distracted to pay attention to you. So in that situation, you often have to dash engage him, and then he rolls away and hinders you, and now you're in an awkward spot. So very often I'll be dueling a Cassidy, or I'll be looking at a Cassidy and I'll be like, I do not want to engage this feels bad, but my brain is telling me no. I'm Genji, I should be good in close range, why am I a coward here? Engage, and then I always get burned. So the important thing here is you should trust when things don't feel good. You don't have to rationalize them, you can trust your gut instincts for a lot of stuff. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. If it feels good, do it, right? The very important thing is to not overthink it. And that's where a lot of people get it wrong. Because this feels like such stupid advice. Like, what kind of coach or self-respecting coach would tell students, right, to do what feels good and not do what feels bad? That's something that literally everyone on the planet could tell you. And you would call them dumb for it, right? Like, duh, that's obvious, right? You don't need to be like a qualified coach, right, to say something like that. And yet it's such a valuable piece of feedback and knowledge, because it validates what your experiences have been telling you about these bad engagements, that part of your brain is trying to tell you that no, despite you knowing that it doesn't feel good, no, it really should feel good, right? Despite you knowing that you're probably gonna fail the play, right? Just being able to get out of your head, trust your gut instinct more, right? Because as much as yes, you could feel good about some bad plays, right? There are some bad habits that might feel good. For example, maybe it feels good to just like spam tank all game, even if there are moments where you shouldn't be spamming tank, right? But for the most part, you should be able to trust naturally that by playing the game, you're gonna, by things working out or not working out, develop a certain understanding that is gonna be able to tell you without thinking whether something is good or not, right? And then you use the moments outside of the game, right? Like by going into a VOD, looking up a video, right? Talking to a coach or whatever, to figure out if you have bad habits, if there's a piece of knowledge that you have been missing, there's something that you have to fix or whatever. But does all of this make sense? Does all of this resonate with anyone? Or am I crazy? Or is this just something that I have created as just like this big brain, oh, the most obvious advice, most obvious advice is suddenly 5-head, right? No, this is just all in my head. Like, is this something that resonates with people? Especially all of these examples of like feeling like an engagement against Cassidy is awkward, or people telling you that you should engage the hit scan or the backline and get kills or whatever, right? And then it feels bad. And it's just like they want to believe the coach, they want to believe the person that talked about the what the character should do, because they're knowledgeable, right? Like, Spylo told me I should hold an angle, right? Spylo is a great coach. Spylo worked in the Overwatch League, blah blah blah, right? And yet when I do this or do that, right, it feels bad or whatever, right? By the way, I noticed that because it didn't, like, this last sentence, I was not like, I left it kind of vague, as if I was trying to just like burn Spylo, saying that the feedback is bad. No, it's not. Most of what Spylo says is good, right? But the important part is that I guess in this case what I would need to add is that if you have a situation where someone tells you a piece of feedback, right, and you know that they're knowledgeable, right, you know that you should trust them, but there's a missing piece, maybe didn't hear part of the conversation, right, maybe didn't hear that you should only take an angle if you can do so, if it makes sense for your character or whatever, right, or you should take an angle in this moment, right, then you could end up in these situations where your body is telling you that it feels bad, but your brain is trying to fight it based on flawed reasoning, right? In this case, like a missing part of the puzzle. But yeah, just to wrap this up real quick. Does anyone resonate with these ideas of like your body telling you something feels bad, but your brain overthinking the situation and trying to force you to make the play that feels bad because someone told you that it should be good, right? Contest the hit scan, dive the backline, kill the backline. This is what Genji does. That's the number one thing that I want people to answer.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
And I guess I also already have kind of an answer from the Genji from last game, right? Because from the gameplay it looked like they were urging to do something. They were urging to go in the backline, to kill things, to do Genji things, right? Not wait for the team, not poke at the enemy tank or whatever, right? But a lot of the time we just needed to chill for a bit and then go in the backline. But we're so focused on doing Genji things that we were never allowed to do Genji things because we're doing them at the wrong time. And we're back to losing frames. Awesome. Yeah, let's look at this fight. Okay. I just chill.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
I just shoot tank. I shoot tank. Oh look! Brick closed the gap on me. Now I get to engager. Oh wow, the Ana is walking into me. And look at all the value, right? All of the squishy kills just handed to me on a silver platter. All I had to do was just wait. Now I know that this is a bit of an exception, right? Because they were forced to go to point to contest. But still, if you were set up over here and they weren't busy contesting, right? Winston was healthy points. You would just wait here the moment that your Winston jumps. Okay, boom, drop on the backline. Amazing. Oh, backline is distracted and a hired scopes. Okay, drop, one shot, right? Yeah, just like the replay I showed where I'm trying too hard. Yeah, that's literally it. That's one of the two pieces of feedback that I gave to the last Genji. That I'm following up a little bit here. Trying to see on my own gameplay, me not giving good examples of what not trying too hard, just waiting for things to be handed to you to an extent, right? Feels like. And let me go back since you didn't join here, right? There was a whole segment here where I wanted to do something, but then it was bunkering up in some positions that made it really hard for me to actually go and do something. So despite me wanting to go on them, because it felt bad, I never did. And I'm glad I didn't. Because if I were to try and do something about this backline, I would struggle. I would probably get my teeth kicked in. If I tried to do something about this Emery, I would get destroyed, right? The only way that I can do something here is dash here and then slow walk here and then maybe drop on him 8 seconds from now, right? But if I'm not gonna do that, all I can do is shoot tank, wait for the payload to move, and wait for my team to create an opening for me to actually do something. But again, my Winston, the moment my Winston is in, I didn't follow up on him, so now I cannot walk anymore. So rather than trying too hard to go there, I just chill. Now, I'm not justifying me not setting up. I could have actually done something to those backliners, to that Emery. But if I was gonna do something to them, it needed to feel good. That's the important part. So how do I make it feel good? Against the Emery, I dash here and slowly walk up here outside of his LOS, wait for my dash and then drop. If he's still here, he's dead. Or go here, wrap all the way around, and now I can reach the backline. I have full resource engaged whenever I want, right, on my own terms, following up on my Winston whenever the backline is distracted, right? But from here, when they're looking at a bad range, no way.
My soul is alight.
Pocket ninjas here.
Just guaranteeing the points. I think I'm actually gonna use this replay as the example for the video. As we just saw from this stream, I have everything that I need footage-wise from just the first 2 minutes to just make the entire video. So this is the gameplay that I was waiting for. So I'm glad I went here, and I'm glad that I discussed the things live. That's something that I need to do more, because I tend to overthink scripts. Because or more specifically, I tend to take too long to make scripts because I am a perfectionist. So I will try and write, but I will write extraordinarily slowly. And because I'm not writing anything, I'm not learning what is working and what isn't. Right? A big part of like actually doing a good script is writing a bad one first. Because from that, right? As long as you lay out all of the ideas, you learn, okay, this was under-explained, this was over-explained, this could be shorter, this could be longer, right? And so by doing this on stream, where I don't have to worry about the time that I'm spending, right? How eloquent, I think is the word, I'm sounding. I can just freestyle it, and that's the whole point of the stream. And then from there, because I allowed myself to talk about the concept, I can learn, okay, what explanations could be shorter? Which one need more? What examples felt good from the footage? Is there something that I'm missing? Is there any topic that I needed to talk about that I didn't, right? That felt underexplained? You know? So this is something that I should do more. Whenever I'm planning to make a video, just allowing myself to do it, and more importantly, allowing myself to do it through a medium that is gonna allow me to do it. Because I've tried plenty of times to just tell myself, okay, I'm just gonna write the script, I'm not gonna worry about making it perfect. And then I'm gonna spend an hour and I'm gonna write 2 paragraphs. Because despite telling myself that I'm not gonna make it perfect, I'm making it perfect. Right? So, using the stream as a way to force myself to do this fast, right? Or do this without worrying so much about the quality, about the time that I'm spending, right? Very, very useful tool. New Jib, I haven't played it too much. It's an interesting map, it still has issues. But it's not the most offensive map. Nor is it the best.
I burn with purpose.
But yeah, look at. By the way, here's a quick question. When you guys look at my Genji gameplay, does it feel unique? Does it feel like you haven't really watched other Genji players play like this? Or here's a spicy take. Does it feel blasphemous? Like, what do you mean Poke is playing Genji and all he's doing is shooting tank and never going on backline or whatever? Which, by the way, is not true, but in a way, does my gameplay not look blasphemous, like I'm not playing Genji? Like I'm playing a completely different character? Like I'm still playing Genji, but I'm just playing him so differently that it's just like, disgusting. What do you mean that this player is just like chilling? He's not sweating whenever he engages for that one shot to be able to get out or whatever, right? I wonder. Because look at this whole sequence. I dash to contest ball. a character that everyone tries to say, and I have for a long time also said that you should completely ignore Genji. But let's look at the context. Why am I ignoring Ball, guy? Or sorry, why am I going in Ball? Let's look at this real quick. Why am I going in Ball? Could someone tell me for what crazy reason I'm going in Ball here instead of anyone else? Like just mind-blowing thing, you know? Why am I going in Ball? I hope the sarcasm is showing. Because for the people that have not been joining recently, right? For the people that have been here for a while, this should be a very obvious answer. Payload isn't far up, sure. But what's the main thing? Payload could be anywhere, for all I care. There is one thing that would make me not target Ball here. Gonna give a hint. Range. Only reachable target? Pretty much, yes. My team is nowhere near and has no prospects of really fighting these players anytime soon. These players are in Narnia, so it would take me 10 business days to reach them. Even then, this area of the map is really hard to set up because the flanks ends right around here, and my opponents can still back up further, so engagements become very awkward. Engagements need to be high quality to be made here, safely at least. So I'm not gonna go on them. I'm just gonna shoot Ball initially, force Ball out. I don't want Ball to be here. And you see the real strength this soon. We chill. I shoot what's close. Ball does their thing. My Winston, I believe, is zoning backline during this meantime. Or he was zoning backline. Yeah. So my Winston was zoning backline. Meanwhile, Ball was trying to do this. But we just absolutely destroy Ball. With the double body block. One body block on each door. I don't think Ball in this small range can actually build up fireball momentum. I'm pretty sure Ball is just always dead here. Which is great, we just caged the Ball in. But the backline wasn't in range, so who am I also gonna fight? I'm just gonna shoot the Ball. And once Ball is out, that means my backline is also able to go in and shoot the enemy team, right? And contribute to the fight. And so, not only will my backline be able to contribute, but then I'll also have had more time to walk up and my Winston to walk up. And once my Winston actually engages and I'm actually in range, then I can actually go in backline. And let's look at what happens. Oh wow guys, my Winston engages, the backline is in range. And would you look at that? Crazy. Engage the Hanzo, he takes, or I take 0 damage and he dies in 2 shots. And I didn't have to sweat.
Here the focused warrior.
Right?
The payload is approaching its destination.
I'm just gonna shoot the ball point. Yeah, just hit the ball a bit. Oh, hey, here's a Hanzo. Oh, bye, Hanzo. Here I just didn't see the brig and I didn't notice how low I was. I think I got a little bit lazy because now that we had such good positioning, my Winston can zone off any area really easily. We have a Bob on point. My support should be really safe, right? I was expecting more support here. I didn't think I took that much damage. I think maybe it's because I didn't get healed
Get in there, Bob.
from this damage. Yes, I never got healed from this damage. The Ana was free shooting.
Let the Kitsune guide.
I got shot by Ana twice and booped by Bow once and didn't get healed. So that's why I didn't notice, right? I expected to just get this poke damage healed up, right? Never considered this to be any sort of deadly, so that's why I'm just dead with both cooldowns randomly. Not only because Brig was outside of Mellow West, so I didn't know that it was in danger here. I thought all of the threats were in front of me and I could see them if they were going to go for me. But most importantly, look at how chill my gameplay is. I'm just gonna shoot ball here. Oh, here's a Hanzo. Let's dash in and oh, let's kill the Hanzo. Okay, let's sit point and oh, there's the ball point. Okay, shoot. Oh, here's a Hanzo. Okay, follow up on my tank. Okay, Hanzo dead. Right? It's so chill. And Genji is not associated as a character that you chill. Genji is associated as the character. Oh, by the way, where is I think it's this one? 4-3 question mark? Yes, it was 4-3. Surprising. Genji is the character that's associated with. That's the wrong place. What are the things, I guess, rather than just giving it, what do people associate with Genji? What do people associate with Genji? Would it be calm, aim, yeah, I'm just gonna dash here and boom. Is that what people associate with Genji? Or boom and oh dude, this is crazy.
My enemy's top.
You know?
Kill.
That is what people associate with Genji. Fast. High risk. Not just fast gameplay. High APM, right? High sense,
The winds of death are strong.
right? It's high, right? The gameplay is fast, it's high sense, it's high APM, it's high risk, it's high reward, high dopamine, big, also big downs, right? It's not just high dopamine when it works, it's also, oh hey, I didn't one shot, guess I'm dead, right? Just like the extremes, I guess it's a better way. Not just you associate Genji with high X, you associate Genji with extremes, right? Extreme burst too, right? There's nothing wrong with doing fast things on Genji. Genji does a lot of things fast and does a lot of them good. There's a reason why a lot of people like Genji for the fast. There's a lot of reason why fast works. And I don't just mean it works sometimes. If you do the fast correctly, the fast is ideal, right?
Enemy's top.
But you need to earn the fast. You need to earn, right? Swing, outplay the cooldown. Now you get the ghost dash,
Your next move.
right? Now you get to quickly dash within targets.
Double kill.
My follow-ups to a lot of the characters was not just me being like, I exaggerated, right? A lot of my follow-ups was, right? Fast kills, 1-2 shots, person dead. I'm dashing in and I am my mind is highly engaged in activity. My aim might not necessarily be the fastest because I use, I don't overly flick, right? I flick when it's needed, but I also know how to track and value tracking a lot, right? So my aim can look a lot calmer than that of other Genji players, but it doesn't mean that my aim isn't also fast, right? It's just not erratic, right? It's controlled fast. But yeah, I expected to just play the game, but because one of my viewers that I played with yesterday asked me to review, and they just on a whim just decided to review it for fun, and just turned it into a whole education piece for like almost 2 hours. I guess this is not a gameplay stream anymore. I guess this is just a pseudo video, right? Pseudo guide. Cause I'm gonna be turning this into a video, right? I learned a lot about the video that I'm trying to make from this. So that's great. But yeah. I think I'm just gonna end the stream here because my throat is sore. I've been talking for too long. I was too lazy to actually go grab another bottle of water and go to the bathroom. Then I'm planning to interrupt the stream for that, which is something that I really need to start doing. Not good for me to just like talk for an hour without being able to drink anything. Like neglect my health for 5 minutes of continuity. Right? So yeah, I think that this is gonna be where I leave this stream. I still have to make a video on my, I think it will be on my coaching channel, and then I would just collaborate with my main channel to help the reach. But I'm gonna be changing my Patreon so that there is no paid benefit anymore. I don't want to paywall anything except for coaching sessions anymore. Like all of the workshops, right? The workshop system is gonna be completely free. They're gonna be weekly free workshops. And so moving forward, my income is gonna be much less service based, right? Like the only service I'm gonna be providing is just like coaching, which, assuming I have enough views, right, is gonna bring me decent revenue. But a lot of it is also just gonna have to be from the goodwill of people that have money to spare, right? So I'm gonna make it just like very transparent here and just say, if you have the money to spare, you like my content and you would like to support me, you can go over to my Patreon. Should be a link in the description, and comment for Patreon or whatever, or just search on Patreon my name, right? But if all of those things apply, right, you could support me for no benefits. I don't plan on really offering benefits. I do want to have, for the highest tier, to have like community games every now and then, but so far I haven't had enough people there to offer it. But yeah, like that's the only real thing that I would consider. So basically it's just like a button that you press, right? A payment that you make every month to just say thank you for the content poke. So if anyone wants to support that, that is the best way that you could. If you're not if you don't want to pay for a coaching session, that is. I know that this is gonna really cut my income, because there are much less people that are gonna just like support like this than there are people that would just like pay for the help, right? Like when I don't have stats on this, but when a quality service that could be paid is free, not everyone that would pay for the service just suddenly out of their goodwill pays for it. People often just, oh hey, I'm really glad this is free, and then only part of them actually make a payment to help the creator despite the fact that they made it free, right? Even if they have the money for it. So I know that this is gonna tank my income, but I don't care. I've never ever liked paywalling the workshops,
The winds of death are strong.
so I'm gonna stop paywalling them. I'm only gonna keep the coaching sessions paywalled because I don't want to get flooded with them. Since
Double kill.
the payment for coaching sessions, less so than the payment itself,
Kill.
it's about the commitment, right? Having someone pay for a coaching session tells me that they're committed to learning, so they're gonna actually get value from the session. If I make it free, there are a lot of people that could be joining the channel for the first time, never watched any of the guys, just like watched one video, liked, and just wanted coaching for free, or just saw a stream randomly, just wanted free coaching. I spend an hour helping them, and they're just like, ah nah, I don't like Genji anymore, I'm gonna go over to Marvel Rivals, right? I don't want to spend my time for people like that. I want to spend my time with people that are actually committed to climbing and really want to improve, right? So that's the main reason for keeping the
Quadruple kill.
coaching paywalled.
Quintuple kill.
There will be that problem with the free workshops, but the free workshops are less coaching and more so just like educational streams, kind of like the one that I just did. Just more interactive, right? People being on the voice chat a little bit more planned than this one was, etc. But yeah. Alrighty, that's gonna be it for me. So have a good one, everyone. I'll see you all in the next time. Bye bye.